Hello everybody, it's Coach K with MajorToCareer.org. If you're new, please don't forget to hit like and subscribe and join the family. Today, we're going to talk about how you can really leverage your LinkedIn profile in the current job market to be able to help you really be a strong candidate when it comes to opportunities. If you are interested in this information, stay tuned. Who would have thought? The LinkedIn profile. You know, there was a time when having a digital presence was really just for your personal life, and it's evolved. And now we have this wonderful resource that's out there that's really a supplement to your application materials to allow employers to get a sense of who you are professionally. Remember, professionally. And so the key here, and the first suggestion I have for you, is to make sure that your LinkedIn profile is professional and it stands out. So how can you begin to do that? What I recommend is to look and be able to really look at anybody who is doing the work that you're doing, who's currently employed, and just peruse through and take a quick look at that LinkedIn profile. Chances are that individuals are trying to be industry standard when it comes to be how they present themselves out there, when it comes to how they're representing the particular company, and you'll be surprised to be able to see what are the common threads that really make individuals successful. It is your personal brand, and professionally, you want to be able to articulate that. And so it doesn't hurt to benchmark just to be able to see what the expectations are. Now, that said, we have to make sure that it's professional. So the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that that cover photo that you have, your profile picture, is professional. It doesn't have to be done professionally. You could take it yourself, but you just want to make sure that it does exude your professional self, because really people get the first impressions are particularly important when it comes to the job search process. And the clear objective, which is the second thing I'll talk about, is very important. The objective should be some type of statement about who you are. So if you are, for example, a person that is entering back into the job market, then you can indicate that into your objective. What have been some of your experiences up to this point? And how can you best share that in that objective so that folks know that you are a seasoned professional who's out there and open and looking for opportunities? Now, if you are a new grad, then you want to make sure that it exudes just that, what you've graduated in, what some of your experiences are, and what you hope and what you're looking for within the current job market, and whether you're open or not. Some people use the objective to really talk about what they believe in, what they stand for. And I think for individuals who are already in an opportunity and you're out there working, that is the language to choose, because you're sharing your convictions and who you are. But if you are searching, then you do want to indicate that on your LinkedIn profile. The reason you want to do that in the objective is because the algorithm, when it comes to the digital age and looking for opportunities and being able to censor and pick up on who's searching and who's not, the language does allow you to be selected as an applicant who's currently looking. And so remember, in the digital age, it's all about what you write and how you write it and what the algorithm is going to pick up. And so be clear. If you are in a work environment, then obviously you can share convictions and things of that nature. But if you are seeking, whether you are seasoned out there in the workforce, like what's happening in the job market today, or you're a new grad who's fresh with talent, have had a few experiences, then you do want to indicate that in the objective as well. Next, I'll talk about the body. You know what's great about the LinkedIn profile is that you can share so much more, particularly in job markets like here in the United States. What tends to happen is that it's a very resume heavy. So the CV is, only used most likely in certain positions and in academia mostly. But for the most part, a lot of people have to give a 1 to 2 page resume at the most. So it forces you to really truncate your experiences, which is a good thing, because remember, there's always the interview where you can talk a lot more about yourself. But the key is you want to get the interview. So don't get yourself removed so quickly by not following what the industry standard is. But on LinkedIn, what's great is that you can really showcase and talk about everything that you've done chronologically and make sure that there's no gaps. And if there's any gaps in there, you want to make sure that you address them in any cover letter that you are using to apply for the opportunity. Maybe you had a time in your life when you needed to step back. Maybe you took a gap year. Maybe you were caring for a sick one. Maybe you stayed at home as a mother and took care of your loved one before transitioning into work, and vice versa. Those are just some examples, but you do want to make sure that it's chronologically in order, and if there's any gaps, you want to address them in that cover letter, because what they tend to do these days, what employers are doing, is that they are reviewing your resume and then quickly just accessing your LinkedIn profile to get a sense of your experiences. So you do want to make sure that your LinkedIn is up to date and it has that information handy. And last but not least, let me throw in a little caveat there in terms of a tip when it comes to working on your LinkedIn profile in today's job market, is make sure that you reach out to as many people who have had a pleasant experience with you professionally to write you a recommendation. And you can request recommendations on LinkedIn. So look for past clients, look for supervisors, look for colleagues who you've had a good relationship with, and have them write a little bit about you and what it's like to work with you professionally. This is very, very important. Part of getting a job is not just about whether you meet the qualifications. It's also about who are you as a person. Are you easy to work with? How do you work with groups of people? What do your clients, what do your students, what do your supervisors, what do your colleagues have to say about you? And so make sure that you dig deep and look at your work experiences. If you're a new grad, make sure that you are peers you've worked with, mentors you've had. If they have something positive to say about you, request a recommendation so that your LinkedIn profile is now looking holistic and well-rounded and really in a position to leverage you significantly within the job. And last but not least, when it comes to your education, when it comes to any certifications, when it comes to any websites that you have, when it comes to any accomplishments that you've had, you do want to indicate them in there as well so that the employer can be able to see all these myriad of different activities. What happens for most people who are job searching is that the resume and cover letter is really a professional document. So you may not be able to put in the website links and things of that nature, but you can on your LinkedIn profile, which will help you significantly. All right, folks, I hope that information is helpful when it comes to what to do with your LinkedIn profile in today's job market. And remember, I am here for you. If you would like me to take a quick look at your LinkedIn and experiences and make sure that I can best leverage you when it comes to the job market, I'm happy to help. Simply send me an email to set up a consultation. Thank you so much for watching. And remember, if you're new, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And if you really enjoyed this video and would love continuous content like this, I'd really appreciate a comment that you could share, and maybe even a tip or two that you have discovered as you are looking at LinkedIn and creating that profile. Thank you so much for watching. This is Coach K. Until my next video, everybody. Bye.